The US Vice President is visiting Kenya from November 24th to 27th, 2025, following the G20 summit in Johannesburg, South Africa. The visit is designed to address rising diplomatic tension between Washington and Nairobi, especially concerning trade, security, and Kenya's growing ties with China. The items on the agenda include discussions about the new US-Kenya trade framework, security cooperation including Kenya's leadership of the Haiti mission and the inter-terrorism efforts, and broader issues such as the foreign investment, technology, and renewable energy opportunities. Kenya is increasingly seen as the strategic partner by the US, having been designated a major non-NATO ally in 2024, and is seeking to expand access to the US market for its textile and agricultural products. The visit aims to reaffirm and strengthen the US-Kenya partnership, counter China's growing influence in the region, and highlight Kenya's role as the regional hub for trade and diplomacy. The main topics J.D. Vance will discuss with Kenyan leaders are trade relations, security, collaborations, and regional stability. Trade is a major focus, with discussions expected about the future of the African Growth and Opportunity Act, that is AGOA, which previously gave Kenya duty-free access to US markets but has recently expired, threatening job exports in Kenya. Kenya leaders are also expected to seek expanded access to the US markets for exports such as textile, agricultural products, and new sectors like mining and fisheries. Security is another key topic, including the future of US military in counter-terrorism support in Kenya and Kenyan leadership role in the Haiti mission. The visit will also address regional issues and stability in East Africa, with Vance aiming to reassure Kenya of continued American partnership and uncertainties about the future of US policy in Africa. Additionally, trade issues like investment, digital and green energy projects, and efforts to counter the growing China influence in the region are expected to feature in the talks. In a country like Kenya, where people have got democracy and everyone has something to say about everything that concerns our country and everything that comes our way, people, the citizens of Kenya, have also had their own opinion as to the reasons why, the thoughts on why the Vice President of America has made a choice to come to Kenya at this very time. Looking at the global issues, America is now at loggerheads with China, trying to go for the rare earth mineral. The rare earth mineral has also been in Kenya for a number of years after being discovered in 1961 by the British, and yet making the area a forest conservation site where it has been restricted to do mining activities in the area. The area is called Mirima Hills in the coastal region. But now, America is running for the mineral. We have seen America running for the mineral in China. We've seen America running for the mineral in Asia. We've seen America running for the mineral in its own country. Because without this mineral, the future is between America and China is going to be a loggerheads. As we shall see in this video, as expertise give the analysis of the same, is that the one who will have control of the mineral in future will be in control of the earth. So far, China is ahead in this, and it has hit Trump so hard, so that he is now in the run. The Africa he had abandoned is now running after Africa, trying to get the mineral so that he can beat China. But China is already in Kenya. The main reason Kenyans feel, the main reason why the Vice President of America is coming here is because of the rare earth mineral. Oh, nothing much than that. And let me warn you, America does not come to the table when they are on the disadvantaged side. They only come to the table when the negotiations are going to favor them. When they are the ones holding the terms and conditions, they are going to come with cards and place them on the table for the President of Kenya in such a manner that he'll have no option but to give Americans what they want. They never bargain on a table when they are sure they're going to lose. America will never sit on a table when America knows very well it's going to lose, especially not Donald Trump or any of the people that are working with him. Let's listen to what Kenyans have to say and what the other expertise have to say about the mineral ore. that is now more precious than gold, as they say.
So apparently, US Vice President J.D. Vance is planning a trip to Nairobi, Kenya. And if this trip is to materialize, we should expect a lot of changes in US-Africa relations. This trip's main goal, in my opinion, is to counter China's influence on the continent, China's stronghold on the continent. That is basically what this trip is going to be about. Many other things are going to be on the table. Remember, Kenya sent 800 Kenyan forces to Haiti on a UN-backed gang suppression mission. The future of that UN-backed mission is still at stake, so that might be discussed. Also, things like AGOA, the African Growth and Opportunities Act. The future of that also is undetermined, and President Ruto will be trying to convince President Trump and Washington to get back in on that deal. This is basically a trade pact between the US and African countries. Remember, countries like Lesotho, who produces so much textile that is exported to the US that actually makes Trump's golf shirts. Yes, Lesotho was heavily impacted by that trade agreement that did not favor African countries and African manufacturers. Now, in my opinion, we should be manufacturing at home and selling within the continent, intra-Africa trade. But people like William Ruto, who are really desperate for foreign direct investment, they will be doing their best to get the US involved in African manufacturing and processing. Remember, we have in Kenya, so many things are at stake. Ruto hosted RSF earlier this year as well. He basically is complicit in the genocide in Sudan. He is also hosting another war criminal and fugitive in Joseph Kabila, the former president of the DRC, who is currently in Nairobi regrouping, forming an opposition political party. All of these things, Kenya has put itself in many ways at the center of so much geopolitical turmoil. Kenya is also the seat of the United Nations on the African continent. So it also has this non-permanent NATO ally status, NATO member status. It's just so much. And as Kenyans, the bottom line is that we have to benefit from our own resources. We have people like Bill Gates who are in Kenya. Instead of Bill Gates, the tech billionaire, putting a Microsoft laptop in the palm of every African child, every Kenyan child, making sure that those children have electricity back at home to use their computers. He is busy playing in our reproductive rights as African women. He is busy making sure that we do not have African food sovereignty for ourselves, making our farmers suffer, influencing agricultural policy in our country and on the continent at large. I hope for all of our sake that this meeting ends up being beneficial to us as African people, to us as Kenyans, and we will be watching and we will be listening.